Well, folks, when President Trump was elected back in November, everyone in the federal government that was associated with a DEI initiative knew their time was limited. They could count their days until their position would be eliminated or they'd be eliminated from the federal government's payroll. Well, did we really think that the Democrats, these far left-wing radicals, would just fall over and let this happen? Do you think they'd just let Trump waltz in and say, you're fired to all of these DEI consultants and advocates and equity, yada, yada, yada? Do we really think that they would just turn over? There is a great piece out from the Daily Wire, an investigative piece that we want to go over today, really to take a really big look at what's going on with these DEI officers that are kind of burying themselves like a mole in the federal government. We got a lot to go over today. But if you're new here, drop down below, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you never miss another video from us again. And if you're liking the content that we've been putting out, drop down below and hit that like button as well. We really appreciate it over here, and it helps us reach more and more people like yourself. Now, in late August, the Department of Health and Human Services said its chief equity officer, his name is Dia Harris, quote, embodies the DEIA. I don't know what the A stands for, to be honest with you. I guess I could look that up real quick. DEIA. Oh, accessibility. Diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility, huh? So we're just going to take a look at this right here. How this was someone who has been a DEI really consultant, advocate since the late 90s, who worked for Amazon, who is very, very out there about his equity, diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility beliefs. Now that President Trump is in, with his goal to really gut all of anybody who's associated with DEI or DEIA that is in the federal government, they are not going to fall over. They're not just allowing this to happen. They're not just falling over for this. So, for the few months, Harris had introduced himself. Greetings and salutations. I am Dia D. Harris, ACF Chief Equity Officer. My pronouns are he, him, al. I am unapologetically a black man. According to his LinkedIn profile. I authentically live as an unapologetically blackety black man, huh? Does this really sound like the type of person that you want in the federal government? It sounds like he is a part of the Health and Human Services. Is this really someone that you want who is so focused on race, sex, gender, and mutilating little children when their, main goal should be like the health and safety of American citizens? Not allowing big pharma companies to really kill Americans and focus on disease prevention instead of just curing a disease. If you have an issue, if you have cancer, let's just fix the cancer instead of how can we prevent this cancer from working? Because remember, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. But nope. What are we focusing on at HHS? We're focusing on being an unapologetically blackety black man. But after the November election, he made some pretty big changes and no longer seems to be that authentic. Now, after this Daily Wire investigation, the Biden administration, HHS, and Harris conspired to really bury himself inside of HHS, really conceal his true identity, who he truly is. They changed his title from Chief Equity Officer to Chief Organizational Development Officer, huh? That's a really good way to hide it, but good thing we have got the Daily Wire here, who's got all the receipts. Harris has falsified his career history on LinkedIn, erased the fact that he really ever was a decades-long DEI activist that he had on his LinkedIn page publicly, and he remains employed at HHS as of right now. His profile now says that he, under the Trump administration, provides consultant and guidance to senior stakeholders on strategic planning and leadership development and talent management. Under the Biden administration, really these civil servant jobs were just there to do far left-wing activism work, whether the Democrats were in control or not. But he had said on a video from a national call to action on equity, we must embed equity into every aspect of our lives, from our personal interactions to our professional endeavors. By integrating equity into our daily practices and decision-making processes, we can create lasting and building a more equitable society for future generations. What would be so great about a society that's equitable? Where everything's the same? What good is that going to do? Are we just going to live in some socialist utopian society that, even in, some computer simulation, it doesn't work, and it all just falls to it just doesn't work? But it's not just these people that are trying to maneuver and get away post-election that are really trying to bury themselves. It's not just this Dia. Oh, here you can see right here. Take a look at this. This is a picture of his LinkedIn page. I allow, permit, and encourage you to be as authentic as possible. I own my views. Let me repeat that. Apparently you don't own your views, because when Trump comes in, you decide to change all your views and rewrite everything. And we'll have more on that later on in the video. We've actually have the receipts from it. But on December 13th, the Department of Labor's Christopher Godfrey, Director of Office of Worker Compensation Program, wrote to staff that he was changing the title of a diversity czar in an email obtained by the Daily Wire. Quote, effective December 15th, Paige Brown, OWCP, Office of Worker Compensation Programs, diversity. So workers' compensation program. Okay, so workers' comp, a worker gets injured on the job. They then file for workers' compensation because they were injured on the job, and it's the employer's responsibility to take care of if they become sick, if they get a disease, if they break an arm, any bodily injury that they incur while on the job, they're responsible. So what does workers' comp need a diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility officer? But that's for, I guess, another time. But they will transition to the Division of Administrative Operations. Wow, what a nice little fancy title. Doesn't make you think that they're promoting DEI in our government at all. Where she will take on an expanded role in support of the agency's mission. This evolution reflects the natural growth of her responsibilities, expertise, and as well as OWCP's commitment to fostering a thriving and inclusive workforce. What a load of horse crap. Where she will take on an expanded role in support of their mission. This evolution reflects the natural growth of her responsibilities and expertise. Give me a break. The only evolution that happened here is America totally rejected you. A total repudiation of what you're doing, and you're burying yourself in the federal government to try and get by. You're like a bear trying to hibernate for the 4-year winter that's ahead and trying to make sure that nobody finds you. What a joke. Evolution reflects the natural growth. You should be fired on the frickin' spot. Whatever. But Syllabus White, a DEIA program analyst, would also move to the vaguely named Administrative Operations Office. Wyatt, who was a previous Chief Diversity and Inclusion Officer for the VA hospital. Diversity and... Okay, look. I'm okay with diversity. There's nothing wrong with diversity. But you're naturally going to have diversity if it's a merit-based system. We get quotas for this is what puts us in a worse situation. You look at the FAA, what Pete Buttigieg did under it. Implemented strict DEI policies, DEI hiring practices, and quotas. And now it turns out that there were up to 2,000 qualified FAA traffic controllers that were turned away because they were white. Because they they wouldn't meet the quotas that they had set for, black LGBTQ non-binary women. If you can even call them that. They don't have enough black transgender women as traffic controllers. That's why under Pete Buttigieg, the FAA became less safe. America became less safe with these DEI practices. Now, in theory, if you say, okay, you want diversity. Okay, that's fine. Okay. I want diversity. I don't want somebody to be excluded just because of their race, sex, gender. Inclusion. Yeah, I want everyone to feel included. Yeah, that's fine. But equity? Equality of outcome? No. If 1,000 people apply for a job as a traffic controller, we don't want equity there. We do not want equality of outcome. We don't even want diversity because we should want... we don't want diversity of really anything. We want a merit-based system. Who is going to be the best trained, the most well-trained, and the most lethal at their job? Who's going to be able to perform the duties to the best of their abilities? So there is not going to be equity. There's not going to be equality of outcome. It's just impossible. And it's ridiculous. And this is why the left has been totally repudiated the last number of months. And really the last probably 2 years, it's gotten really, really bad. But this is what the Democrats are doing. They're changing their names. They're trying to bury themselves in the sand as deep down as they can and hope they can survive the winter where Trump is going to come in and really try and rid out all of these people. It's just ridiculous. And what do you need in Veterans Affairs? And the Director of Affirmative Action for College. What a joke. On January 24th, President Trump's Office of Personnel Management directed all agencies to, quote, terminate to the maximum extent allowed under law all DEI, DEIA, and environmental justice offices and positions within 60 days. Agencies can begin and should begin issuing reduction in force notices to employees of DEIA offices now. The agencies were also required to send to OPM, the Office of Personnel Management, a complete list of all DEIA offices and any employee who in those offices as of November 5th, 2024. So if on November 5th they were called a DEI officer, that's what we're going to go after. And a list of all contracts descriptions or personnel position descriptions that were changed since November 5th. Absolutely. Go after them. Rip this crap apart. These people are not qualified to do these jobs. HHS now did not respond right off the bat about Harris's job. Obviously, they have, 60 days to really reduce the staff and fire these people. But let's just take a look at what Dia Harris has done. And I think they had up here, let's see. Nope, it starts down here. From 2015 to 2017, Harris worked at Bowen as a senior diversity recruitment consultant. Maybe that's why Bowen had all those issues. You remember, doors were just, flying off and bolts were just, falling apart? Well, yeah, maybe if you try and have you try and have quotas, we have to have at least one for every, 1,000 white men we hire that know what the hell they're doing. We need to hire at least 1,000 black transgender women who only have one arm. What? You wonder why they've had so many freaking issues the last number of years when they have a senior diversity recruitment consultant where he led, quote, the sourcing and diversity activities. Now, he claims to have been a senior recruitment consultant who led the recruitment marketing efforts to promote Bowen as an employer of choice. He was at Johnson & Johnson from 2011 to 2015, where he oversaw a program called Developing Leaders of Tomorrow. But the program was actually Developing Diverse Leaders of Tomorrow. It all has to be about diversity. Can't be about merit, can't be about getting the job done, can't be about delivering profits to shareholders, can't be about doing your job the right way. Nope, it has to be about having diversity. Diversity, and quotas. Harris has also altered his past job titles from diversity recruiting manager to talent acquisition manager. Really just a complete rewrite. Take a look at these right here. His experience. Chief Equity Officer. Now we have Administration for Children and Family, Chief Organizational Officer, Development Officer. I direct and implement diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility initiatives, assist in the establishment of these goals, and execute agency-wide action plans. Now it's, I lead the implementation of strategic workforce initiatives across the agency, develop and execute action plans to support organizational growth and foster a high-performance culture. Hold up. I thought this was all about DEIA. In those agency plans, let's provide leadership and strategic direction in recruiting. You know what? I can't even read this bull crap here. It is it's just a total rewrite of history. Total rewrite. Inclusion, equity, and diversity consultant. It's just what the hell is going on? Basically, I don't even see this on here anymore. It's completely gone. Pause the video here. Take a look at this. Read this crap right here. It's this is the most ChatGPT, what would you call this? It's a letter of experience that he has right here. It's his resume. The most ChatGPT. You go from the most woke bullcrap here to the most ChatGPT. Nothing about what you were doing. I thought he was authentic. I thought he was himself. Let's go back up here. What happened, Dia? Just have a couple questions for you there, bud. What happened to I am authentic? I encourage you to be as authentic as possible and own my views. Let me repeat that. I own my views. Well, apparently not. What happened here? Apparently you don't own your own views because the second President Trump became president, you decided to use ChatGPT and rewrite everything. But similar things have been happening at other agencies as well. This is just ridiculous. This is something that we're going to need to keep a very close eye on, is these bureaucrats rebranding themselves, burying themselves in the sand. That is going to be the threat to the next Trump administration from the deep state, these people that have buried themselves. Obviously, the Office of Personnel Management says that they're going to look at everybody based on where it was on November 5th. Hopefully, they're able to access all those records. I really hope they're able to. But we really don't know. We're going to have to see how it all turns out. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments on this sick stuff that's happened. These people who are rebranding, burying themselves in the sand, and trying to get through, hibernate for the winter until Trump is no longer president. We need to get these people out. So if you like this video that we got out, drop down below, hit that subscribe button. As always, like, share, and comment down below. And until next time,